Hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to do a piece that I had shown you from this journal that I did way back. And it's this piece right here. It was the fan. And everybody said that they would like to see how I made this. And so we're going to do a rendition of it for the Grungy Sunflower Journal. It won't have the doily behind it, but I will show you how to do each of the blades and how I worked it into the piece. So let's get to it. Let me seal this back up. Yes, okay. So what I have here, I just had like a strip off of one of my pages that I'm going to have in here. I don't know if you remember me saying that the very first page, since the cover was short, it's only like 5.5. I was going to have a page in there that was going to stick out just a little bit. So this is my first page. I believe I'm going to make this the front because it goes with that yellow really well. So I've got a piece here that is like a cardstock weight. That is that wood grain. And then I have this, which is a thinner weight, which is going to go in here like this. And I'm going to create a pocket, of course. But before I make the pocket, I may not make a pocket on both sides. It may just be on one side. But I do know the inside of it here is going to have the, I don't know if you want to call it a fan, but it's going to have these little pedal blades like I got right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I did here, I had a piece that was about 3.5 by about 5.5. And what I did is I took, on one end, I did a little mark at 1.25 at each end. And then on the other end, I did it at 1 and 1. And whatever the amount was in between, that was fine. And then what I did is I went and took it over and I cut it on my cutter. And then I got these. So let me go ahead and do that. And as you can see, they're not all the same size. This one's thinner. The outer two are thinner than the middle one, but that's okay. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to make a little bit of a cut at the top for a dome. And then we're going to do the same for the bottom. And we're just going to freehand it. You can hide a lot with this because you are going to be gluing them side by side, and you can cover up a lot of flaws that way. The way I'm doing it here, these are a little bit narrower than the one I showed you out of my old journal. So you can adjust to the size that you want. I think those are larger, and they swung the whole distance. These are going to be a little more narrow, and I'm going to make a pocket with them. Okay, now I don't have that exactly the way the lower one is. I'm trying to make more of a point on this end. So you just kind of keep trimming at it. You know how you used to do the snowflakes for your Christmas tree or your garlands or whatever you would do at Christmas. You just keep trimming away at it. Okay, now what we're going to do is, like I said, these pieces in here, don't worry about them because they're going to get hidden by the next one. And it's just the idea of it is what we want. All right, now what we might want to do is to ink or stamp or any of the above. And I think we are, because we want this grungy. Okay, I'm using this interesting stamp here. I've got from, what is this, Crafter's Companion. I got this way back. But I'm doing this little fancy, chain link fancy looking thing. And I'm going to do it, of course, in my ground espresso. And just put it on here. And just give a little bit of a texture. That's about all we're doing. Giving a little bit of texture. And I'm using my old map here as a background because, you know, just because. Anything that stamps off is fine. Like, see? Yeah. I'll get a twofer. So now we're going to do the next one. And then we may actually do a little bit of a a stencil on here. I'm not really sure. I do know I need to ink the outside edges, but, you know, you're always having to do a little bit of prep and decoration and that kind of thing. I really want to thank everybody for coming to visit. I really appreciate it. Hope you see a few things today that might get you inspired or give you ideas, that kind of stuff. It's always great to see somebody else creating, because it really does trigger things in yourself. So we have a few more little whatevers we're going to do to this. Okay, the next piece we're trying is this one from Relic, from May Made It. It's just a bunch of little spots and dots. And I figured that would give a, oh yeah, look at that nice grunge. That really, and this is one of her distressed pieces too. That she says, she doesn't do very much distress items, but this is a very good one. Let's see, you can push it in once, twice, which is what they call, oh gosh, what is it called? I used to do it when I first learned it. Oh, first and second degree stamping. So the first degree is the strongest. The second, when you stamp the next time before inking again, is a little weaker, and then it's even a little more weaker. So that's what that is all about. And we're going to actually just stamp off what's left on here, just to give it a little grunge. Okay, now put this back in here. And I don't think I'm going to need anything else out of here, but it's got a, she calls this the bacon, and then she's got like this little screen, but it's got some great little stamps in it. So what we're going to do next is probably just some inking, because I don't think I'm going to do much more to this. And I'm wanting it to look like a, and you know what, I'm only going to do the one side too, because I don't need to worry about the lower side. That is going to be covered. But I wanted to say that I want it to look like part of a sunflower. So that's my impression here. And usually the biggest one is the one I'll choose to be on the bottom, which that might be this one. So we're going to go ahead and do the bottom side. That's the only one you're going to want to do that with. So yeah, that's down there at the bottom. And then you just keep going. And I'm feeling a whole lot better today. I'm much improved. I'm still blowing my nose a little bit, but mostly it's gone. I don't know how long it usually takes you to get away from congestion and stuff, but that's still dodging me. Next, this weekend I got to work with Zach, and then next week I'm going to have to start cooking. I'm going to make stuff to take up to his sister's, and then I'm going to also make stuff, I'll just double it, so I'll have it for my mom and dad. Since I'll be going up there with him. All right, now that's all she wrote. Okay, now what I want to do, take this away, is to show you how I put these together. Now, what you want to do usually first is find you a brad and put them together that way. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get them stacked up. This will be on the front, on the top, and then you're going to stack after that. And you're just going to, you can just stack them on top of each other for now, because what you're going to want to do is have all of these meet at the bottom, and that's where we're going to put a hole in there with our crocodile, and we're going to put in our brad. So we're going to get our crocodile. It doesn't matter what size. Usually the small size is best, I feel, for this. And you just put that right in there. And it's only to hold these pieces together. Other than that, it doesn't really have a function. But before we do that, I mean, it's going to go in there just like that. But before we do, we're going to put a little bit of something in here with it. I've got all these little goodies here that's all kind of decked out. That would be kind of cute on there. Before I secure the brad, I might have a little bit of this cloth here. Let's rip that down a little bit more. I'm going to use a good bit of this in here because it's nice and grungy. I already tea-dyed it. I do want to trim it a little bit more. We don't need all that. Okay. So we're going to put that on top of there. We're going to have this in there. Let's see. I've got a few other little pieces and parts here that I've picked out. Nope, not that. I did do a little bit of die cutting with the chicken coop. I've also treated a bunch of these little pieces of ephemera. That was from our spare the other day but I dipped them into some dots and then I inked the outside edges. So I really aged them. I see Marley's design do this all the time, and I had been wanting to try it. Look how nice and aged that looks. Isn't that cool? So I've got those all fixed up and ready to go for whenever I want to use them in here. And it's whatever my choice is. I do think I want to have a little bit of this in here. So I'm going to cut that off just like that. Okay. Let's see. That will be underneath of here. And this will be on top. Let's see. How would that work? About like that. Yeah. Okay. We're going to do it just like this. I just wanted a little bit of extra something in this center, if you know what I mean. Okay. So let's stick that in there like that. Well, gotta get it to go through. And then we're going to put it back in our holes. And then we're going to secure it. Just like that. There we go. So it's going to add me a little bit of something there in the center. Now, the part that comes about to secure the ends, you want to get your wet glue. And we're going to get in there. And we're going to take this bottom one. And you see the way I've got them? I've got them where you can use each one of these little blades. Now, if you had it the other way, it wouldn't work because you'd have to tuck this way. So what we want to do is we're going to want to put a little dot of glue. I mean, that's a big dot of glue. Right there. And you're just meeting the two ends together. That's all you're wanting to do. You don't want to do more than that because you don't want to shut up this little area here that you can tuck little smalls into. And that's what I did on the other one. I hope I added enough glue on that one. Okay, one more here. And then one more. There we go. And see, it's much smaller than the one I had the other day. Or I had in the book, I mean. Because, you know, I wanted it to be more of a pocket. Kind of like a pocket. So I thought about putting it on this page like that. And actually, I do need to take the brad and loosen it and punch it all the way through this page. That is one thing I need to do. Now, I thought about having this kind of like down here like the other one. And it could be used as a tuck as well as those little pieces there. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now I need to, like I say, poke a hole in here. And I'll take this and I think I need it to be right there. It could be a belly band. I mean, it just depends on what you feel like you want it to be, to tell you the truth. So we're going to put it right in there. feed it through our hole. There we go. And we're going to open our brads here. And then we're going to find a little bit of something to cover that. Just a little bit of something. That'll work. Just so it doesn't hinder anything that might go in this, if it's just a pocket, you know. There. Push it down real good. Now, let's see what else we need to do. We need to go on this side and we need to secure it somewhere. I'm thinking I might like to just secure it on the edge out here. So we're just going to do a little bit of glue on these outside pieces, the ones it's going to touch. Yeah, just like that. There we go. Now I've got the special delivery parcel post there. I think it's kind of cute. And I have where you can put something all the way down in here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So whatever you might have, it would go in there. And then if you had some smalls, you could tuck them in here as well. So it just depends on where you want to go with this. Now, we could take some of these little beauties here and put it on some of our blades as well. Let's see what we might have in here. It might work. There's a nice number. I have a lot of things that has red, and I really thought that would be a good color to have out here. Now we have that one about perfection. I kind of don't know if I want to put anything on these other ones unless it's just something short for the end, just so it's not covered or hinders or anything like that. Let's see, I'm not finding anything that really is speaking to me, if you know what I mean. I do have a butterfly. Let's see if the butterfly speaks to me. What we got here? All kinds of stuff. No, that's not bad. Now see his little wing, I'll just leave his little wing up and glue him mostly to this side. No, I could put his wing down. Yeah, okay, let's do that. I liked him because he had a lot of oranges and black, just like a sunflower would. Plus I have those butterflies on the cover, so that would work. Works together. Okay, let's do just like this. There we go. There. I'm okay if I can't get all the way down in there. That's fine with me.